Here's 5 mistakes that I see a lot of women make who are over 35 that want to lose fat, get fit, and what used to work for them in their 20s doesn't work anymore. Number 1 is intermittent fasting. You might think that intermittent fasting is great for you. What you should know is that all studies done on intermittent fasting were done on men. And like Stacey Sims says, women are not small men. The reason why intermittent fasting is not great for women is because the benefits you get from intermittent fasting, they come from having elevated cortisol levels. But women over 30, 40, approaching the 50s, you already have elevated cortisol levels, and also your good estrogen, your estradiol type estrogen, is already sinking, right? So the way you are going to get the effects of your good estrogen being high is through strength training. And the best time to work out, strength training, or whatever, any type of workout, is always going to be in the early parts of the day. So if you intermittent fast and you're not eating during the early parts of the day, then you're working out on an empty stomach. Your workout is not going to be optimal. Us men can get away with this because we don't have the elevated cortisol levels, and our testosterone is also a little bit higher. So if we lift weight on an empty stomach, then we can kind of get away with it more. If you're a woman over 35, you do want to eat around your workout. So if you wake up, have a small breakfast, then go lift your weight, do your strength training, and you'll have a better workout right there. Another mistake, and I'm just going to run through this real quick, is thinking that menopause is a death sentence. Menopause is like, the reason menopause has such a negative annotation is because a lot of it is because of Hollywood. In the movies and the media, oftentimes older women are portrayed as weaker or more frail. But what I am personally seeing is that a lot of women over 40 in their 50s, when they start training, at that age, you actually become a little bit more wise, you get smarter, and you start training smarter. But a lot of women who are in that age range, they think that menopause is a bad thing. Menopause is not a bad thing. Some women get it, some women don't. It's a very natural thing to happen. Your estradiol type estrogen starts going down, and as a result, certain functions start diminishing. But you can totally offset the symptoms of your declining estradiol. It's not like we're in the 1600s or 1700s anymore. And this is a true story where in, England, when a woman would have a little bit of mood swings, people would think that she would have hysteric fits, and they would think that she was a witch, and then they would burn that woman on the stake, which, if you ask me, a little bit extreme, although Hillary Clinton. But as time has progressed, we now know more about menopause, and we know that it's a natural occurrence. But even in the early 1900s, some women would still get like lobotomies, and they would be put into insane asylums, which is pretty insane if you think about it. Now, mistake number 3 has to do with PCOS. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because if you don't know what PCOS is, it's polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is really a wrong name, because PCOS was founded by somebody who thought that it was by having a whole bunch of cysts on your ovaries. But it's not really cysts on your ovaries, it's enlarged follicles. But it's not just that. You have PCOS if you have 2 of the 3 symptoms, and those 3 symptoms being enlarged follicles on your ovaries, androgenic properties, meaning like facial hair growth or just like manly traits, or you have missed periods. So if you have 2 of those 3 symptoms, then technically you have PCOS, which is why PCOS is such a weird diagnosis. But that's the issue. We have so many diagnoses here in America for people where doctors love it, because if they can give you a label, then they can prescribe medication and they can make you feel like a victim. And when they make you feel like a victim, that's where they have you, and that's where they take your money, and that's where they make you feel powerless. I know this firsthand because, full transparency, I was running Facebook ads for a good 3 months to women with PCOS, and I would get on calls with them. Many of them were 200, 250, 300 pounds. I would ask them if they drank water, and they were like, no. And they would blame their husband for being overweight. And of course, they would blame the PCOS for them being so tired all the time, which, yes, PCOS does mess with your hormones. But what causes PCOS? What causes you to have elevated testosterone? What causes you to have messed up hormones? It's your lifestyle in the first place. So here you are, your lifestyle factors have given doctors an opportunity to tell you that you have 2 out of 3 symptoms of this PCOS standard, and then they can tell you that you have PCOS so that you can then think, Oh, that's why I'm not losing weight, eh? Because I got the PCOS. Oh, but I tried everything. Oh, are you drinking water? No. But I tried, eh? I tried exercising here and there, right? And all of a sudden, I don't know why you have an Australian accent. I don't know. And this is what I see with, this is not just women, this is, men too, Look, let's face it. America's not a country. America's a business. America makes money. America's about money. How do you make money? You get people that feel like they need you. So how do you get people to feel like they need you? You make them feel like a victim. You make them feel like there's something wrong with them. Let's give them a label. You got Hashimoto's. You got thyroid disease. Diabetes even. Pre-diabetes. You don't have diabetes yet, but you got pre-diabetes. So you might as well take this. You got PCOS. So you got to be careful. And this leads me to mistake number 4. And this is women for sure. They go on things that are way too restrictive. They go on low-carb diets. They go on extreme workouts, and it's just, you already know, like, what's the best diet you can do is the one you can do for the rest of your life. And then mistake number 5, I'm just going to jump straight into it, and that's not doing strength training. And I think that a lot of women do not do strength training because of the word strength training. See, the term strength training just insinuates, or I guess conjures ideas among women of like big meaty meatheads who drive silver Nissan Altimas with the paint is fading on their hoods, big bros with huge biceps, with just fat stomachs, and they bench press every single day almost. These are guys that are into powerlifting, and powerlifting is great if you keep it healthy, but when women hear strength training, I can only imagine those are the images that they bring up. But what y'all should know is that strength training doesn't necessarily mean that you're lifting heavy weight. Strength training can literally be you just getting better at standing up and sitting down from your chair. You're getting stronger. But strength training is what is absolutely essential for you to provide yourself, your body, with the same stimulus that you would have otherwise have gotten from having high estradiol type estrogen. So I'm going to leave you with a story real quick. When I was 23 or something, I bought an Infinity G37. I bought this Infinity G37 because I wanted to look cool. I was a personal trainer at a big gym. And then I bought that car and I wound up making it work because it forced me to make more money and it was good. But then I took it in for service and I don't know, I wasn't really thinking. I took that Infinity G37 in for service in Glendale, and the service manager was really cool. He was a nice guy. And he said, look, you're going to have to get this service, which costs like $800. And I was trying to like negotiate with him like, oh, well, I don't really, do I really need this? And then he said something that I'll never forget. He said, look, if you don't do it now, you're going to need it later. So you're going to bump your head. You might as well bump your head now, and it's not going to hurt as much as if you know that you're going to have to bump your head 2, 3, 4 months from now. So if you're a woman and you're not strength training, you're going to have to bump your head. Women have to have muscle as well. As a woman, and I know you're not doing this to get attention or whatever, but it's just from a male's perspective, we see women who do not strength training. We're just like, wow, you're leaving so much money on the table. And it's true. It's like they're showing up to their work and they make $250,000 a year, whatever, 20,000, let's just say 20,000 a month. And then their coworker who sits right next to them in the cubicle right next to them, that coworker makes $200 million a year. And the only difference is that that coworker also does strength training.